We have a question from James Dyer about the Surface Pro 3 and 4, and I know absolutely nothing about either of those, so perhaps you could cover
I've just
that.
purchased Surface Pro 3. Any
Yeah,
thoughts about the new Surface Pro 4
and
for
want
artists?
answering
Yes,
that?
I am looking very forward to getting a Surface Pro 4 in the very near future, though I can't say exactly how soon it will be. I absolutely love my Surface Pro 3. Surface Pro 4 looks absolutely amazing. The new pen is very, very cool, and I think the whole thing's going to be brilliant. But I'm looking most of all forward to the Surface Book. I think that is going to be fantastic most of all. At the moment, I'm using a MacBook Pro, and I'm using that with my Wacom Cintiq 27QHD, and obviously I'm using my Surface Pro 3 as well. So at the moment, I've got kind of 3 bits of hardware. I've got my Wacom, I've got my MacBook Pro, and I've got my Surface. So in a way, it'd be nice to kind of say, don't need my Surface, don't need my MacBook Pro, but have Surface Book with my Wacom Cintiq. Just have those 2 pieces of kit. My Wacom and my Surface Book, both of them then are touchscreen. Both of them, have the pens, but the Surface Book is portable. It's twice as powerful as the MacBook Pro that I'm using at the moment. Absolutely amazing. I can take it. I can just take the top portion off, go downstairs, sit with my wife and my son, just carry on drawing, and then bring it back upstairs, click it in, carry on working, on massive Photoshop files, Painter files, everything. That kind of blows my mind to me, just having those 2 pieces of kit. But the Surface Pro 4, it's just so powerful. It's going to glide through everything with Photoshop and with Painter. And I know that because the Surface Pro 3 at the moment pretty much is it's really powerful with Photoshop and Painter anyway. I wouldn't say it's effortless, but it's really powerful with the 2 programs anyway. So I know that having seen the tests run on the Pro 4, it's not going to be any problems. I'm definitely looking forward to having one. The pressure sensitivity on the new pen is over 1,000 levels. It's got the eraser as well. It's basically, if you look at the Wacom pens, then Microsoft have basically taken a look at this and said, yes, please, we'll have this. The new Microsoft Surface screen as well. Apple have shown us and talked to us about their Retina screens for a while now. You can kind of throw that in the bin because the new Microsoft screens are even better.
Yeah.
No, I think the Surface Pro 4 and the Surface Book is going to be amazing. But you've also got another part to this, because there's also the Lumia, which is the Microsoft phone. I've been a Mac user for years and years and years. And you've got, I use my MacBook Pro, I've got my iPhone, I've got, I've got an iPad. So, yeah, I'm a bit of a Mac monkey. But I'm not really feeling the love anymore. The iPad Pro is a bit messed up. It just doesn't look good. And the whole Apple Watch thing, I think Apple would have to do a lot to convince me. I mean, I still love to play with one of the iPad Pros and see if it's as bad as it looks. I mean, don't get me wrong, maybe I'd have a play on one and it turns out to be really good. Then I'll sing its praises, don't get me wrong. I'm not one of these people who just randomly has a go at things. But looking at the specs and what I've seen, I'm not impressed. I will have a go, though, before I really have a go at it. But the Lumia phone runs Windows, will integrate with the Surface Pro 4 perfectly. So maybe we'll be able to use artistic apps on that, and it's a really big phone as well. So, using devices together, if the Lumia uses the Microsoft Pen as well, I just think, there's something in that. But I don't know if it does. So we just have to keep our eyes open on it.
James Dyer says, thanks. Just as a follow-up, the Surface Pro 4 pen only has one button on the barrel. Is that an issue?
Not really for me. To be honest, I only use one button on my Cintiq pen.
I use both of them on my pen. My one that's closer to the tip, I have set to Control and Alt, which lets me resize my pen. And then the topmost button I have set to right click, which is really helpful in Windows, at least, to invoke a lot of different commands really quickly. So I like having two buttons on the pen. I think I would expect that.